So then a disappointing afternoon for us today, 3-0 loss to Hastings United. Game in which we struggled to create opportunities at times. A tough one to take, especially after our last home win against Lewis. What are your thoughts after today?
Yeah, way off it. I've got to give them credit. They were very well organised, and stopped us performing really. Hornchurch, I think, mirrored that game, to be honest. Sat in very dangerous on the break when they got opportunities. Very well organised and structured, and we just went in our shells. Just lifeless. I mean, the first 15-20 we started okay on the ball, but off the ball, we just gave them so much time. It was like we'd played 90 minutes this morning. It was so strange, and again, we sort of huffed and puffed in certain areas, had a couple of chances, didn't take them. They get one chance, they take it, and again, just gifting goals away. Just concede bang on the stroke of half time from that corner is it's diabolical.
It takes the wind out of the sails. You can see that amongst the players as well once we're down, especially conceding just before the half.
To be honest with you, I don't think there was any wind in our sails today at all, and that was the that's the real frustration. Is I don't know where that lack of energy, where that's come from, because we've lost games this season and had energy, impetus. I cannot say that today. Absolutely cannot say that today. And we need to see where we go with it, because we know there's going to be some tough spells this season. But we need to change that very quickly.
Obviously, it hasn't helped our cause that, given the lack of a fit striking option, Marcel being injured, Rory saw him doing a few runs earlier today, obviously not fit enough to get into the side, or to get minutes, I should say. Then obviously you've got Jake, who's signed yesterday evening, announced this morning, who's come on in the second half. I suppose, how did you feel he performed when he came on? I suppose he hasn't had much time to train with the boys ahead of today's game. And B, do you see him having, especially, I guess if he's the only fit striker we currently have at the moment, do you see him potentially having a key role in trying to get us those goals and those wins? Yeah,
I mean, it's a thankless task for him coming on. It was just as I scored the third. We obviously were going to bring him on. Thankless task coming on into that. Obviously, he's trained once with us. Obviously it's difficult to just throw him straight in the side, when he doesn't know anyone. So hard on the lad today. But obviously the people that have been here at the club for a while, they know what he's about. He knows where the back of the net is. And he's lively. I thought when he came on, he was lively, but too many players had I think given up the ghost on that game, to be honest. And it's just the reaction when you go 1-0 down. Just the lack of fight and desire. I've just said I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed by the lack of will and desire there. I'd certainly, that's a performance I'm ashamed of. And I expect the players to feel ashamed of that. If they're not ashamed of that, then they shouldn't be at the club. And that's something that we'll be looking at over the next 24 hours, because certainly some players look like they didn't want to be here.
Obviously it doesn't get any easier for us either. We've got Enfield Town the following weekend. They're right up there amongst the playoff contenders. I'm sure they've also got eye on that automatics place as well. I suppose it's going to be a difficult one after the lack of confidence and fight in this game, to then go on the road to a very tough place like that, and the performance needed, I guess. Yeah,
sometimes though the tougher games bring out the best here. As we saw at Lewis here. But we're going to have to change something. We can't just put that out again and expect that to go and do something at Enfield. It's just not going to happen, is it? But as I said, I've said many times, it's a long old season. We knew we were going to have bad spells. You know, we knew we had a tough run of fixtures. You know, we shot ourselves in the foot last week. That could have, you know, put some confidence into the players, put some points on the board, give us a bit of breathing space, but we didn't take it. That then obviously gets compounded. You know, Hastings, they're a top side, but top side aside, we made it too easy for them. We can't be that easy to play against. If you're that easy to play against, one thing's going to happen. You know, and that's what did in the end there. You know, it's quite easy. We've obviously lost ourselves 3 points there. But the application was just dreadful. You know, it doesn't help. Obviously, you change a few things. We have Rory firing. Obviously, he gets himself injured for the amount. To be fair, obviously the amount of work he's been doing for the team, gets himself injured, and then obviously that coupled by the fact Marcel's injured, obviously Westy as well. You know, Westy's going to be out for another couple of weeks. So all these things sort of pile on top of each other, and it's not like you're taking fringe players out of the squad. You're taking instrumental parts of the squad, instrumental parts of the team away from that starting 11, and you know, and that's up to us now to get the right players to replace them, because quite evidently we don't have those players at the moment that can replace them. So you know, it's going to be a busy few days for us to work out where we go with this. You know, as I say, after Lewis, well, sorry, not after Lewis. At the Aveley game, we kind of changed the way we were looking at things in terms of playing style, and that seemed to steady our ship quite a bit. And we had a couple of good results from that. You know, we know the players can perform, but I think at the minute this group of players, you know, we are way too inconsistent. You know, and I don't want to see a side out there that are not putting 100% in. It's not very often I'll say that. I just didn't feel like it was 100% there today. Whether we were losing, whether we would have lost anyway, I question some of the effort today. You know, and the effort's not going to keep you up in this league. You need quality with that. But yeah, today we didn't have either, which is a recipe for disaster. But we've got a long old way to go. We start playing the sides in and around us over the next few weeks. So it's one of those. We can build doom and gloom about it, or we can just get our heads down, take the stick we're going to get, and crack on. And that's what we're going to do.
And obviously, you know, a big crowd turned out today. Obviously, Hastings brought a few down as well, but not shy of, not too far off 600 people today. I mean, we've said it a couple of times before this season, but them getting behind us through the thick periods, through the difficult periods, as well as the good ones, will be important towards helping this side get to where they want to be.
Yeah, that is important. You know, and we saw that at Bognor last week. Fans that travelled, unbelievable. You know, it is a tough time. As simple as that. It's a tough time. But you know, we're not panicking. We've got to move and make the right decisions over the next few weeks to give us some long-term changes. You know, and it's easier said than done, but we're confident that we can do that. You know, 600 here today. You know, let's not forget we created that. We won't get 600 before. The difficulty is now you get 600 here. You know, we need to be putting in good performances. You know, and today, quite rightly, we should. You know, when we're shit, I will take the brunt of that on my shoulders. Not a problem. You know, and today, absolutely, people can say what they want today because we weren't good enough. You know, and that's that. But you know, yeah, we will move forward and we'll turn the corner at some stage.